On this episode of Story of Everyman, we're interviewing a young lady named Donna Blalock. Donna is running for Justice of the Peace in Precinct 1 in Gregg County, Texas. She has over 30 years of experience in community supervision and has many years as a municipal judge here in East Texas. She has been endorsed by the Gregg County Republican Assembly. The Longview Professional Firefighters Association has also lended its support for Donna in her campaign. Let's get to know Donna a little bit more. Welcome to the Story of Every Man. Today we have a special guest, Donna Blalock. She's a municipal court judge, and she's currently running for office here in Gregg County. We wanted to learn a little bit more about that and share what she has to bring to the table. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you, John.
It's good to see you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask some questions. I've never met you in person, so it's actually great to finally get to meet you in person and learn a little bit about you.
Well, you too.
Where were you born at?
I was born in Llano, Texas, which is the deer capital of Texas. I was raised on a farm with my sisters and my parents. While on the farm, my dad would take us to go feed the cows. I was a little country girl, would go hunting, feed the cows. We had pet deer. I remember two of them were Angel and Little Bit. I loved the mountains there and the lakes. Well, I thought they were mountains, probably just big rocks. But to me, they were mountains when you're 4 years old. While in high school, I was on the dance team. And I hope this won't be held against me, but in 1991, the Marshall Mavericks beat Longview in the state football championship.
Wow.
I don't think we've won that since then. So, like I said, back in 1991. I then went to East Texas Baptist University, and I majored in secondary education, minor in Spanish and sociology. I am a certified Spanish high school teacher. Somehow, I was asked to come to Gregg County and said, hey, there's this judge, Mickey Smith. He's wanting someone bilingual. Why don't you just come and apply? Come and shadow and see what you think. So I had a friend who asked me to shadow her at work because I had this misconception, oh my gosh, I'm going to be working in the jail and it's going to be scary, or people are going to be in shackles because I had no idea what probation consisted of. I went and shadowed her and I was like, oh, well, this is not bad. We go to court, learn about the law, what probation consists of. It's people that are not in jail. They report to you. I decided to apply for it. I stayed for almost 30 years until I retired.
Oh, wow.
So I would interpret for Judge Mickey Smith. I would teach classes to the defendants. So I still used my teacher's degree, but to the defendants. I was there for almost, like I said, 30 years. They have the rule of 75. I'll bring that up because when you're my age, you get excited when you get free health insurance. And so I have free health insurance from the state. So it was in November that I had retired. But before I retired, I had already announced back in June that I wanted to run for Gregg County Justice of the Peace Precinct 1. That is something that I was already planning on doing because I've been working on it for almost 10 years. But while I was at probation in 2002, I was asked by the city of White Oak if I would consider being their associate judge. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I can do that. They're like, well, we checked it out. We found out that you can. We would love for you to help us out, and you can do it in the afternoons. I would do it after my regular job, after 5. I would do night court.
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like Judge
Makes sense.
Judy, but without the show and the money. Same drama. I conduct court in East Mountain once a month on Mondays and in Big Sandy twice a month on Wednesday nights.
Are you married?
Yes, I am married, and I have 2 boys, 22 and 18. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, Jack and David.
Who's been the biggest supporter in your entire process through your career?
Well, it's been my family, but also if I had to pick like the one person, it's always a parent. It's probably my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she always tells me, even like right now while I'm running for office, she always says, all right, God sees all and knows all. So you need to remember that. She tells me to remember that. So every morning I do say, hey, God, get in my head before I do, type of deal.
Yeah.
I've got siblings. I have 2 other sisters, and I have a baby brother. They're very supportive as well. My kids would just make sure they're like, okay, is this going to be a dangerous job? Are you okay? I said, I'm fine. I tell the kids that I'm never really left alone, even when I'm in court. I always have my police chief or bailiff that's always with me, that escorts me to and from the car, just in case.
At what point did you start seeing yourself become a part of the public eye because I see you on social media a lot.
I think that when I first moved to Longview, I wanted to meet people and try to make a difference. So I think it was back when I joined Junior League of Longview. So once I joined Junior League of Longview, I met a lot of people. I met a lot of executive directors from nonprofits, and I started to learn about what they do, who they serve. And at that point, I decided that I was like, okay, I want to give back to my community, so I want to start joining boards that serve children. I've been on the Rainbow Room board. I've helped out with cattle barons that benefited the Cancer Society. I've been on the Boys and Girls Club. Recently, probably one of my closest ones to my heart is the Martin House Children's Advocacy Center. So that organization serves sexual abuse children here in Gregg, Harrison, Marion, and Upshur County. If you've never heard of the Martin House, you're blessed. But I do think that a lot of educators, counselors, just, hairstylists, whatever, we need to look at everyone that comes into our presence in our business at school and really pay attention to see if any child is showing signs of sexual abuse. They try to make the experience less traumatic. Once there's an outcry and the officer brings them to the center, they're interviewed. They try to record it.
So the Martin House plays a role with law enforcement
yes,
going through these
investigations?
With
the law enforcement. Mm-hmm. And they interview them, they record it, so they don't have to keep repeating what took place. We have a SANE exam room where a nurse comes in and does the exam. We set up counseling. We have a therapy dog. Her name's Rainey, and the kids love her.
What is the Junior League of Longview?
They recruit, I would say, female volunteers, just all women, that would...
all women?
All women.
Interesting.
No, there's no boys allowed, just women that would volunteer and to serve the community. I knew one of the things that we did when I was in Junior League that I loved was the back to school backpacks that we would distribute to the community. And we'd have people come and do free haircuts for the kids, and we would pass out uniforms if we had extra uniforms for children. And I remember a long time ago, gosh, it's been a minute. It was before my kid was born. So over 20 years ago, I remember I had not had kids, and we were part of the funding task force.
What would you tell women who want to be more involved in the community? What direction would you steer them?
Well, I would just tell any woman, okay, what's your passion? So if your passion is that you want to serve children, then try to be a part of, if you can't be a part of the board, be a part of their fundraising committee or their advisory board. Go try to volunteer and do your research and so forth. Like mine, like I said, I like to serve on boards that do really help children. With CASA, I was a blue jeans and ball gowns celebrity dancer.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I did that for 7 years, and that was their main fundraiser, which I think I remember Kristen Ishihara came up with that fundraiser event. I danced for 7 years. I was in the best shape when I did it too. I loved it. Yeah.
Did you ever get first place?
I did. I think the year, 2 years before, my celebrity dancer, they would pair you up with a professional dancer, was Stephen Collins. He is the principal out of Kilgore. And Stephen and I won, I think it was 2 trophies. We won audience favorite and most technical. I think it was a lyra. I was on this lyra. It was like The Greatest Showman.
Oh.
It was right after COVID, and I think we gained weight that past year because we didn't get to do anything the year before. So I'm very lucky that Stephen didn't drop me and I didn't fall out of the lyra. So, but we won. It was great. Yeah. So I always liked dancing. I liked helping them raise money for kids in foster care.
So not all of the activities and volunteering is just strictly business. Sometimes you can have fun doing that.
Oh yeah, I think I was Mulan the last year.
Yeah.
I was able to flip Stephen over my back. That was fun.
One of the cool things I saw this year was that the mayor created or last year was that the mayor created committees and allowed the public to come in and be part of those committees. Tell me about the office that you're running for.
So, like I've stated earlier, I am running for Gregg County Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1. So the difference, like I'm already a city judge, is it will come with more responsibilities.
You took on this path back in June. What was the driving force behind that? What told you this is what I want to do?
I felt honored that some people said, hey, you're ready. You've been here long enough. You know about probation. You got the city judge job down. And since I've been a city judge in all the cities through the 24 years, I have heard 53,000 cases. That does not even include the people that I have arraigned in the jails. That's just cases coming through my court.
Do you ever have people come across you in public and say, thank you?
I have. They'll tell me, I remember I just stopped at a gas station here in town for a drink, and I was asking, hey, can I put a sign up? And she's like, oh my gosh, you were my probation officer. She said, I went to jail because I wouldn't stop partying, but that's what I needed. And thank you. At first I was mad, but that is what I needed. And I'm doing well now. So thank you. So I thought that was great. She remembered who I was. And I've had others who have reached out to me and they said, you helped me out.
What makes you the best qualified person for this specific job?
I think that my background just with education, with probation, working with a diverse group of people from all walks of life, and trying to help them make better choices, that I'm qualified for that. Part of being a judge, you need to be unbiased, fair, treat everybody with respect and integrity, no matter who you are, what you believe in. You can't treat anybody unfair. We've just got to be fair and just with everyone that comes before us. But also, I think that it starts with even in your personal life and how you treat people. I'm a no-nonsense person. I'm going to hold you accountable, too.
In reference to voting, we're currently in early voting. Is that correct?
Yes, we just finished our first week last week. I think I know I'm running in the Republican primary. We had about maybe 3,400 voters that came out last week. All this week, Monday through Friday at the courthouse, it is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
At Judson Community Center and the other polling places, which is on my Facebook page, it is Monday through Thursday, it's 8 to 5, and then Friday will be 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then you won't be able to come back and vote until Election Day on March 3rd until 7 p.m. that night, and we'll get the results then.
March 3rd at 7 p.m. is the voting time?
Is the last time to vote.
Last time to
so
vote.
You can vote all this week. You can't vote Friday, Saturday. You can't vote Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
Okay.
And you come back and vote Tuesday. But you need to do it before 7.
Well, thank you for sharing with us tonight. Got to learn a little bit more about you. And I, wish you the best in
Thank you.
in whatever travels that life takes you.